go, I'm going. When no one's left, ain't no need to be stressed, you'll be right there. You keep on pouring and it's overflowing your blessings. You show me love, thought it didn't exist, but it's right.
What's up YouTube? It's your girl Destiny Alexis and welcome back to my channel. Here is where I motivate women to live their full potential in life and in business. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube family, but let's get into the video. So girl, lately I've been feeling like talking about how to heal, move on, and rebuild yourself after you leave a relationship. I felt the need to give some advice or give some insight on my life experiences dealing with relationships that left me feeling like I was less than nothing. First of all, I want you to remember who you are in the first place. God allows certain things to happen in relationships all the time in order for us to come closer to Him and really figure out who He called us to be to begin with. I know I used to question, why did I go through certain things in relationships? Why did I let certain individuals make me feel less than myself? And all that really made me learn was the fact that I gave these people this power to make me feel less than myself. I gave them the opportunity to treat me a certain type of way, and I decided to stay even when I knew that God called me to be more and to do more. And so if you're in a situation where you are allowing certain things to happen, where maybe you have given an individual more than a few times to get it right, and they have decided to take you for granted, I want you to really think about, is this a situation that God would call you to be in? So let's say you've moved on from a relationship, right? And you still deal with the fact that you feel less than yourself. Maybe you feel insecure and maybe you're comparing yourself to other individuals now. I want you to know that God made you beautifully who you are, and there will never be another individual who is just like you. And just because this particular person maybe didn't love everything about you, or maybe compared you to other people and it had you feeling more insecure about yourself, I want you to know that a relationship from God is going to build you up and it's going to uplift you, not tear you down. The relationship that God has called you to be in is going to make you become a better version of yourself, a better woman of God, and it's going to bring you closer to God, not take you away from Him. A relationship that God called you to be in is going to transform your life for the better, not for the worse. And I want you to really understand that. Cutting ties can be so hard, but it is super essential because God wants you to be all that you can be. But if you're constantly dealing with this relationship or these individuals or these people, whoever it is, and they're making you less than who you feel like you were, if God called you to be a certain woman of God, and you're letting someone tell you anything outside of that, you're in the wrong situation. You're in the wrong relationship. So I would tell you to spend time working on you. And working on you can look like a number of different things. That could be going to the gym. That can be going back to school. That can be changing your wardrobe around. It could be trying new makeup. It could be so many different things. But you have to get back to you again so that you can live a happier life. Because if you're constantly in this situation where you believe that there's nothing better out there for you, if you're believing what this person told you, if you're believing that there's no hope and that there's never going to be a person that could love you, I want you to know that that's the wrong way of thinking. God is going to develop you into the woman that you need to be in order for the man to come who is going to help you become an even better woman. I wish I would have known how to love myself more. I think sometimes we get into relationships with no real expectations, and that's where we go wrong. And so setting those boundaries up front, having those certain conversations that might be difficult, really getting to know a person mentally before you even decide to consider being in a relationship with them is something I feel like we should all do. And had I done those certain things in my previous relationship, I would have known this was not an individual I needed to be with, because it would have went against everything I stood for. And so the question I have for you is, what do you stand for in your relationship or in life in general? What are you standing for? Do you want to be respected? Do you stand on loyalty? Do you want to be uplifted? Do you want to be empowered? How do you want to feel in a relationship? And I think it's super important for you to really think about that. So when you go forward in life, you're not going to keep repeating the same cycles over and over and over again. Stop searching for love. I wish I would have told myself to stop searching for love, because what God had for me, He had for me anyway. And me going through certain relationships and certain situations I didn't even have to go through because I was being disobedient, because I was living in my own free will, because I was trying to do things my way instead of doing what God called me to do. But tell you to find the right support system. You know, sometimes we're around certain individuals and certain friends that indulge in certain activities or do certain things, and that can put you a million years back if you just left a relationship. I don't believe that jumping immediately into the next relationship is going to heal you. I believe that spending time with the right people, the right individuals, the right support system, the right people to uplift you is going to bring out the best in you. And that's what you need right now. You need people that are going to uplift you. You need people that are going to encourage you, that are going to reassure you that even though this is a hard journey you're going through, there's nothing too hard for God. There's nothing that's going to be too difficult for God to bring you out of. And so even though you could feel lost, you could feel insecure, you could feel like you're never going to get back to yourself, I want you to know with time, God is going to heal those broken wounds for you. He's going to restore you. He's going to bring you out of those situations you never thought he could bring you out of. And sometimes we're so hard on ourselves during these times because we feel like we were the problem, when in all actuality, you're not the problem. You should be happy that you're out of that situation, that you're moving on to new, better things, that you're going to live your life where you're not carrying around baggage, one where you're not made to feel less than yourself. And that should be all that you hope for yourself, that you can live a life where you're happy, where you're fulfilled, where you're living God's calling, when you're living your purpose, where you're with someone who's uplifting you. And I think that sometimes when we don't have an example of a relationship that looks ideal, maybe you didn't see your parents go through a happy relationship, maybe you didn't see any of your close friends' parents have a happy, strong, standing relationship, that does not mean that you can't find love. That does not mean that God does not have something for you. And so I want you to really focus on rebuilding yourself by getting to know you again, getting to know who you are, what you like, what you love. What does that mean for you? What does a healthy relationship look like for you? Getting to know what love is, what God says about love is super important. And I think the reason why I have found such a healthy, loving relationship is the fact that I've allowed God to be in the mix of it. And you have to allow God in to literally be the foundation of your relationship. If your relationship does not consist of God, you're going to want to incorporate God and ask God to lead you and guide you on how to make your relationship better by trusting in him. Well, ladies, I hope that this video was inspirational for you. I hope that you got something out of it. Make sure you comment your favorite part down below and subscribe for more videos.